All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a really powerful idea: how the small, almost invisible choices you make every day can completely reshape your future. We're talking about building a life that doesn't just crawl forward, but actually compounds, gaining momentum over time.
So let's start with a scene that might feel, well, a little too familiar. This is Sarah. It's late, and she's feeling that familiar pull of something better. She's got these big dreams, big ambitions, but right now, she's stuck, scrolling through possibilities instead of finishing the actual project that could move her forward. She's planning, she's researching, but she's not doing. And really, this gets to the absolute core of it, doesn't it? Have you ever felt that way? Like you're stuck in this state of perpetual preparation, where the dream of what you could do someday feels way more comfortable than the scary, uncertain reality of taking one small step right now, today.
Okay, so this leads us directly to the foundational principle here: the power of the compounding choice. See, real change, it doesn't happen in some big, dramatic moment. It happens in the tiny decisions we're making, hour by hour, every single day. Here's the simple but kind of terrifying truth: there is no neutral gear. Every choice is a vote. It's a vote for the person you are becoming. The thing that really separates the people who change from those who just, well, think about changing isn't talent or luck. It's a deep understanding of this one fact.
And this breaks it down perfectly. In any moment, you've got these two paths. On one side, you have comfort. It's scrolling the phone, doing endless research, telling yourself you're waiting for the perfect moment. It feels productive, but you know what it really is? It's hiding. And on the other side, you've got growth, finishing the project, taking responsibility, doing the thing that feels just a little uncomfortable. Every choice on this side builds a tiny piece of proof that you're someone who actually shows up.
And that's the real kicker, isn't it? The clock is always, always ticking. 5 years from now, that time will have passed. That's a guarantee. The only question is, who will you be? Will you be in the exact same spot, or will you be someone who decided to use that time, choice by tiny choice? So, okay, if we choose that growth path, we're going to feel something. And that something is usually anxiety. It's uncomfortable. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if anxiety isn't a stop sign? What if it's actually a signal? Let's try this reframe, because it's a game changer. Anxiety isn't the enemy, it's an indicator. Think of it like a warning light on your car's dashboard. It's a biological alert system that switches on when you're about to step out of your comfort zone and into the space where real growth happens. And you know what? The bigger the opportunity for growth, the louder that alert is going to be. And here's how you make that signal useful. When you have these vague, fuzzy goals like, I just want to be more successful, all you get is this constant low-level hum of anxiety. There's no clear action. But the moment you get specific, the moment you define the concrete next step you need to take, that anxiety transforms. It becomes a sharp, focused signal that says, hey, right here, this is the important thing to do now. So the goal isn't to live a life free of anxiety. Honestly, that's a fantasy. The real goal is to change your relationship with it, to learn to see it as a compass that's pointing you directly toward the things that matter most, instead of a monster telling you to run and hide. All right, now let's talk about what happens when you follow that compass over and over again. We see people who are absolute masters of their craft, and it looks so effortless, right? We call it natural talent. But there's something else going on, something hidden beneath the surface. You see, what we call talent is most often just the visible tip of an iceberg of invisible work. It's experience. It's that deep, almost intuitive pattern recognition that you can only earn through thousands and thousands of hours of practice, of failing, and of trying again. Just think about it for a second. The master chef, it's not magic. They just know when a dish is perfect because they burned 1,000 others. The expert programmer who spots a bug in seconds, they've spent countless nights staring at a screen, debugging code. Mastery isn't a gift you're born with, it's a result you earn. And this should feel incredibly empowering. It means these invisible advantages aren't reserved for some lucky few. They are built. They're available to absolutely anyone who is willing to put in that focused, consistent work over a long period of time. Now, for a mindset that is quite possibly the single fastest way to get more control over your own life, this is the shift from being a passenger in your own story to grabbing the steering wheel. Now let's be super clear on what this is and what it isn't. Ownership is not about blaming yourself for every bad thing that happens, not at all.
It's a strategic decision. It's about deciding to focus your precious time and energy only on the parts of a situation you can actually influence. And just look at the contrast here. The victim mindset is always asking, whose fault was that? It's focused on blame. The ownership mindset asks a totally different question. What can I do to get a better result next time? One drains your power and keeps you stuck in the past. The other one builds your power and is completely focused on creating the future. And this shift in focus changes everything. When you take ownership, you stop being a narrator, just explaining why things happened to you. You become the author, figuring out how to make things happen. So now, let's put all these pieces together. We have compounding choices, reframing anxiety, building experience, and taking ownership. The amazing thing is, these ideas don't just add up. They multiply. They create this incredible, accelerating momentum. You can see the cycle right here, this beautiful upward spiral. It starts with small, consistent action. That builds real confidence. That confidence lets you take on bigger challenges, and you start using anxiety as your guide. Taking on those challenges builds that deep experience, which leads to those effortless results. And when you take ownership of those results, you gain more control, which fuels, you guessed it, more consistent action. It's a flywheel. It starts slow, but once it gets going, it's hard to stop. And this is the nature of compounding. You have to understand this. For a long, long time, the results are almost invisible. You're putting in the work, you're making those hard choices, but it feels like you're going nowhere. And then, all of a sudden, everything just clicks. That progress wasn't sudden at all. It was just accumulating, silently, beneath the surface the entire time. So, what does this all mean for you, right now? The most powerful part of this whole idea is that you don't need to completely overhaul your life tomorrow. That's not how it works. You just need to focus on one thing. This is the simple, profound, unavoidable truth. The next 5 years of your life are coming. They will happen whether you are ready for them or not. The choice you have isn't if that time will pass, but how you're going to use it. And really, that's the only question that matters. In 5 years, are you going to be the same person, in the same place, still scrolling, still planning for someday? Or are you going to be someone who day after day made the small, compounding choices that built the life you actually wanted? That decision, that first small choice, it starts right now.